Hi everyone, I'm Lillian.
And I'm Felipe.
We are the Postmodern family.
We are Americans living in the UK, living a traditional family life.
We make 3 new videos every week, so we would love it if you subscribe to our channel.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Today we are going to react to the Prager University video about the British Empire. It's called, If You Live in Freedom, Thank the British Empire.
Okay, so I tweeted today, what are the good books, the good histories of English history or British history? I want to know the books that would fire incredible pride in the heart of a British person. I don't want for example, how climate change drove the monarchy to do X. Someone responded to that tweet and said, oh, you should watch this PragerU video. I don't know if you know what PragerU is. I don't really know what it is. I think it's just, to me, it's just a thing that makes videos that are educational. But I don't know if it's an actual university.
A lot of people are going to tell you that it's like it has a Christian and conservative bent.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the videos they put out are like for Christianity.
Oh, so some people are going to tune out right now or laugh and say, PragerU, ha ha. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I didn't know.
Over the last 400 years, what power has done the most to spread the ideals of limited government, an independent judiciary, certain inalienable rights, and free markets? That power would be the British Empire. It was Britain that gave these ideals to the United States. It was the British Empire, the largest empire the world has ever known, which made these ideals global aspirations. It was the British Empire, along with America, that defended these ideals in 2 colossal world wars. Freedom was an Englishman's right, and wherever he went, he took that right with him, whether he was an English colonist in America, governing himself through a locally elected assembly, or an English adventurer like Sir Stamford Raffles, creating the free market city-state of Singapore, or an English officer like T.E. Lawrence, leading Arab tribesmen against the Turks. The British always thought of themselves as liberators, as bringers of freedom. The British believed the final and necessary justification of their empire was a moral one. The British kept the peace. They brought sound, honest administration. And they insisted that basic moral standards were honored. The British did not try to nation build in the way we think of it now. They were under no illusions about making Arabs or Afghans or Zulus into Englishmen. They were more than content to leave people alone, to let them be themselves, to govern them with the lightest possible hand. In American history, we remember this when we think of the British Empire's so-called benign neglect. We can see it throughout the history of the British Empire. Think about the vast territory of the Sudan. It was governed by 140 British civil servants. Even Gandhi praised the British Empire, paraphrasing Jefferson, saying that he believed that the best government was the government that governed least, and that he found that the British Empire guaranteed his freedom and governed him least of all. In the defense of freedom, the empire drew moral lines. No power did more to abolish slavery and the slave trade in the modern world than did the British Empire. The British Treasury spent enormous sums to liberate slaves and compensate slave owners in the Caribbean. The Royal Navy had as a primary duty the eradication of the slave trade, and in fact abolishing the slave trade became a major factor driving the expansion of the British Empire. The British enforced a Pax Britannica, putting down pirates, taming headhunters, and keeping the peace between previously warring tribes and religions. While respecting and often ruling through local leaders, the British still insisted on certain Judeo-Christian moral standards. They were not, in that respect, multiculturalists. They had a firm sense of right and wrong. When Sir Charles Napier was confronted by the practice of suttee, widow burning, in India, he told the Brahmin priests involved that he understood it was their custom. But the British had a custom too. They hanged men who burned women alive, and their goods were confiscated. So if the Brahmins insisted on continuing their tradition of widow burning, then he would insist on following his British tradition of hanging the murderers of widows. Widow burning in India soon ceased. But we don't have to dig far into history, into the abolition of slavery and widow burning, to find the British Empire on the side of moral right and freedom. We can think of events within our own lifetimes or those of our parents and grandparents. When we think of the two deadliest threats to freedom in the 20th century, we generally think of communism and Nazism. But how many remember that in 1940, after the Hitler-Stalin Pact and after the fall of France, one power, the British Empire, stood alone in mortal combat against the combined tyrannies of the world? Even where the British have merited criticism, as in Ireland, there is more to the imperial story. During negotiations to create the Irish Republic, for instance, British Prime Minister David Lloyd George, who could speak Welsh, reminded the Irish nationalist and Gaelic extremist Eamon de Valera that the Celts never had a word for republic. It was an idea given to them by the English.
Bam!
This is our own history, too. If you love America, you should also love the power that gave us our sense of inalienable rights, rights traceable back to Magna Carta. It all started in America with the British Empire, a great liberty-loving empire. It is the empire's legacy, the English-speaking world, that remains the great global guardian of freedom today. I'm H.W. Crocker for Prager University.
There it is. What's there to say?
I know.
You can't really.
Say.
Thanks for watching.
Really? Yeah, there's nothing more to say. I mean, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, you should check your facts." I think they might be like,
Fact
"This
check.
is all made up."
I especially like the quip about the word republic.
Why did you think that was so funny? I don't get it.
Because the Irish are very proud. They're very proud people. And they like to think
That they came up with
that
all the world's
they
ideas?
basically no that they beat the British Empire, which maybe they did, in winning their independence. But to think that they won their independence and became a republic, which is a thing that the English taught them. So it's just funny.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if there's anything in the British world like this, a video like this with a Brit giving this lecture. It seems like it's the American Anglophiles who are sort of saying, "We love you guys," and saying, "What have you become? What have you done to yourselves?"
It is really sad. Like, I think people, for some reason, think that the British Empire is the reason for such atrocities like slavery. The reason for, what do they call it when they think white people are the only people?
White supremacy?
Yeah, like that they're the ones who came up with white supremacy. And yet, like you see, and if you just look into history, how many countries were affected and influenced positively by the British Empire, right? Economically, just flat facts, you know?
Well, the thing that gets me is how they all say, so, "Oh, if you look at Pakistan and India and how they hate each other, who created that situation? Oh, the British Empire." Or if you look at Palestine, if you look at Palestine and Israel, who created that situation? The British Empire. It's as though the British Empire created these animosities and made these people hate each other. That hate was there before the British Empire came. British Empire stabilized the situation, and sure enough, when it dissolved and left, the situation
just resumed
again.
Thanks so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about the British Empire.
And support our affections for the British Empire by becoming a patron at patreon.com/thepostmodernfamily. You can also support our staff by buying a t-shirt at teespring.com/store/the-postmodern-family.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.